Welcome to the Kyero.com Spanish Property Podcast, where we interview real people who recently purchased a home in Spain. They tell us what worked, what didn't, and what they'd do differently next time. I'm Beth Davison, and today I'm speaking with Denise, originally from Tyne and Wear, who purchased a 3-bedroom quad with her husband Eddie in Entre Naranjos. Just wait until you hear about how living in Spain has improved Denise's health and how sometimes lowering your budget is the right way to go. Denise worked with estate agent Home España to find her dream home in Spain. Check out the show notes at kyero.com/podcast to find links and resources mentioned in this episode. So if you start by introducing both of you and just letting me know what you do.
Okay, so I'm Denise and I'm married to Eddie and we're coming up to 35 years anniversary.
Well done, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, I love him to bits.
No.
But I took early retirement about 4 years ago now from a job that I did with a charity as a training manager. It was the right opportunity for me to go because I could take early retirement, but I could also get redundancy, voluntary redundancy. So I went for that.
Brilliant.
And then last Christmas, my husband had the same opportunity of voluntary redundancy and early retirement from Gen 2, which is a housing establishment. They build houses that they bought off Sunderland Council and they rent them out and they build new properties and all that kind of thing. They're called Gen 2. So he took his retirement last Christmas, which put us in the ideal position to be able to buy somewhere abroad.
Yeah, great.
Now, we already had somewhere abroad last year.
Right.
For 14 years, we've owned a property in Turkey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A little place called Alicante. I'm saying little, it's not that little anymore. Absolutely fabulous seafront duplex apartment, the size of a house. But things were going wrong in Turkey. There was a lot of unrest.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the president there is not very well liked. To actually take up residency there was becoming extremely difficult.
Okay, interesting.
And it's a long way from home.
Yeah, it's that much further than Spain, isn't it, I suppose? How long was the flight to Turkey?
About 4.5 hours.
Yeah, okay, so it feels like kind of a much longer journey.
Yeah, and then we had a sort of an hour and 15 minutes once we got there to get to the resort.
Interesting. So whose idea was it first? How did the kind of idea of Spain come about?
It's very strange because when we were young married, we always talked about retiring to Spain. Even though we'd never visited Spain, it just seemed to be the thing that everybody did.
Yeah.
They took retirement in Spain. But after Turkey, the choice of Spain, we both talked about it. And I think it was probably more my idea than Eddie's because I wanted to be nearer to the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Spain, to me, seemed the best choice, where we could get what I thought we could get, everything that we wanted out of a retirement plan.
Yeah, perfect.
You know, I've got a brother who's been trying to persuade me to go to Brittany in France, but I thought, well, that's too close. It's probably too much like being at home.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I wanted the nice weather. I wanted everything that comes with being abroad.
Yeah, totally. And so which area of Spain did you end up settling on and why did you choose that area?
Right, we ended up settling on Entre Naranjos, Oriela Costa. And the reason we decided there was pretty much that the house that we went to see and the location ticked just about all of the boxes.
Perfect. And what were those boxes?
Well, we had a list of things that we wanted. We wanted something, if we could pick up this home from East Rainton and take it out there and have it in a similar location but with the sunshine, that would be ideal. So what we've got is we have a 4-bedroom detached house.
Lovely.
What we've got over there now is a 3-bedroomed quad house, which actually wasn't something I was interested in. And I didn't even know it was a quad house when we went to see it.
Yeah, okay.
But it doesn't look like a quad house. From the front, I thought was a semi-detached.
Oh, okay. So interesting. So for you, the viewing, really important. So you made it out there, did you, did you go to view lots of different houses?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we started off in Gran Alicante and we went out last November and we had 3 weeks at a friend's holiday apartment.
Right.
And we toured all over, and I think we probably viewed something like 40 or more properties.
Wow, okay.
And the one area that we liked was, I forgot what it's called now, hang on a minute.
No worries.
Yeah, no. It's out in the country, it's a village, and it's gone out of my head.
No worries, it'll come back to you, I'm sure, when you stop trying to think of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
That always happens to me. So you're talking, how rural would you say it is?
I would say it's semi-rural. You're within about a 20-minute drive of everything.
Perfect.
20 minutes to 30 minutes, and you can be anywhere. So you've got, about 20 to 30 minutes will bring you to a whole selection of different beaches. Again, about 20 minutes will take you to the big supermarkets to do your shopping. The resort, it's not a resort, it's a residential area where people actually live full time. It's very much European, which I didn't think I wanted either.
What were you kind of initially thinking?
Initially, we thought it would be more Spanish.
Right.
But what we found is there are a lot of English, Scottish, Welsh, and other European countries. People have retired out there.
Right, okay.
To Entre Naranjos, and a lot of them live out there full time, which gives you that bit of security of knowing that there's people around. So we're in a quad, and we've got 2 houses together where it's like myself and Eddie, and then our next door neighbour. We go out at the moment for long holidays. But behind us, the people who live behind in the 2 houses are out there permanently. They've retired out there.
Lovely, okay.
And we've made friends straight away.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what it sounds like, that it's kind of a community vibe and you really get to know the people.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody has been tremendous and helpful since we first moved in there. If there's anything that we need to know, there's always somebody who will offer help.
And so how long, when you tend to go, how long do you stay for? How long do you get with these people just kind of hanging out?
Well, to tell you the truth, we've only been once since we bought, because we've only just bought. And we were out for 3 weeks.
Lovely. Okay, so a nice long stint.
Yeah. But straight away we made a lot of friends. Friends to the extent where they'd go out for meals with us or take us to places that we've not been, to make sure that we get the full feel of things.
Brilliant.
We're going out on the 6th of September and we're going to go out for 6 weeks this time.
Oh, so nice, because that's just when the weather's turning here as well.
Yeah. And some of the friends that we've made have suggested that we nip down to Benidorm and spend one night in a hotel down there to celebrate my husband's 60th.
Oh, very nice.
And that's really nice, because that's only like an hour down the road.
Yeah. But then you get to explore a little bit of the culture as well, like you'll see lots of different places.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Benidorm before, and we had been to Spain before, but not for any, until we started looking for houses, it wasn't for any real length of time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it just sounds like it's a nice sort of escape for as long as you want it. Like you don't have to go for weeks, but you can if you want to.
Yeah, well, I've got my friends have asked, can they come across in February? It's one of my friend's 60th birthdays. And she doesn't want to do anything special. So as a surprise, we're going to take her to our place in Spain.
Great.
And it's just for a long weekend. So I've said to the girls, right, well, book me a one-way ticket and I'll fly out with you. And then when they fly back, Eddie will fly out and I'll just see how it goes and decide when we want to go home.
Wow, amazing. One-way tickets are always so exciting, I think.
Yeah, you're not tied to anything. You can just go when you want to, really.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. So with the search for the house, you viewed a load of properties. Mm-hmm. And then how did you know you'd found your dream home? How did you know it was the one?
Like I say, it ticked most of the boxes for us. It was a nice, big house. It had plenty of space. It has 3 bedrooms. It only has a small kitchen, but that doesn't matter because you do a lot of outdoor eating. We wanted a lot of outdoor space. And while we don't have grass, we've got a lot of outdoor space.
Yeah, no, lovely.
Massive, massive downstairs outdoor space. Lots of different places where you can sit outside at the house.
Nice. So do a bit of sunbathing.
Yeah. You've got one bedroom downstairs, and then you go upstairs and you've got another 2 bedrooms. So the main bedroom leads out onto a lovely big balcony. So you can sit and have breakfast there, yeah. And then you go up to the rooftop and you have a massive balcony up there as well, which is our preferred place now to sit and have a barbecue.
Nice. That'll get the heat, right? You'll get the sun at the latest point there.
You get the sun, and it's a lovely place to sit and watch the sun come down on the night time.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely beautiful.
Brilliant. With some nibbles and a drink, I can imagine it.
Yeah, it's great.
So once you found the property, what were the first kind of steps? Who were you dealing with? How did it all work?
We were dealing with the estate agents that put you in touch with us.
Yeah.
They took us to see quite a few properties. We gave them an idea of what we wanted. Took us to see a few properties. This was the one that we really liked. My husband he knew immediately we walked in. That was what he wanted. I was a bit more cautious. I loved it. But because we had arrangements for other viewings, I wanted to see what else first before making the decision.
Yeah.
But having visited other properties, that made up our mind that, yes, this was the one that we liked.
Brilliant. And how easy or difficult did you find the process?
Very easy. Very easy because we were handheld all the way through the process. We were guided to the banks, to set up our bank accounts, to a solicitors, to sign up for all the documentations. All the fees were discussed, so we weren't going in blind. We were taken to the office where you sign for your deeds and everything. It was just one smooth motion, really. We paid a deposit, and then it was just smooth all the way from there.
Brilliant.
And we were kept updated throughout, so it was very easy to do.
Great. And then when it comes to the fees and the budget, well, that was going to be my next question. How did the money side work for you? Did you have a budget in mind, or were you kind of flexible?
Originally, we had a budget in mind of around about 160,000 English sterling pounds.
Right, okay.
Like I say, we started off at Gran Alicante and we visited so many properties and didn't find anything that totally jumped out at us.
Right.
For our budget. Then I started to think, okay, we're not going to find what we want in our price range. So let's just slash the budget and we'll go for something much smaller, with a much smaller budget, and we'll have a holiday home.
Right, okay.
If we had not slashed the budget, we would never have found what we got.
What turned out to be perfect.
It turned out to be perfect.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Because we would not have viewed that. But we were viewing places that weren't as big or as nice for a lot more money.
Yeah, so that flexibility, that's kind of, if you were giving advice to someone, do you think that flexibility of just don't necessarily set yourselves specific limitations, would that be something you'd tell people to do?
I definitely would now, yeah, definitely. I would not have known that that could happen. But because we had the redundancies, we had so much cash. And I said, right, up to 100,000 to include the solicitor's fees and everything for a holiday home.
Right.
Whereas the 160,000 depended on us selling our home here.
Right, interesting.
Because we got it at the price that we did, there's no rush to sell our house.
Yeah, which is great, actually. That gives you a lot of kind of freedom. And do you foresee it staying that way, that you're going to keep both?
We will sell this house because it's a big 4-bedroom detached. It's a family house.
Right.
There's just the 2 of us here. And yes, we have the grandchildren occasionally, but a 2-bedroom house would do just as good. So we plan to downsize and keep a house over here so that we've always got somewhere to come back to when we come on holiday, which eventually it will be that we're living most of our lives in Spain.
Yeah.
And this, England, will then be our holiday home.
Yeah, you'll be doing it all in reverse. So that would be so nice. That would be great.
Yeah. But we'll be able to be here at Christmas time to see the children on special occasions for birthdays and such like.
Yeah, no, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, and that's the plan. Just put our house up for sale and wait and see what happens.
Excellent. And so the agent that you dealt with in Spain, what were they like? Were there any limitations? Because obviously you've got language barriers, you've got different legal ramifications, all of that kind of stuff. Did you struggle with any of that?
No, not at all. They all spoke English. Quite a lot of the staff were English. They had a mix of English and Spanish.
Right.
But even the Spanish ones that we were dealing with were absolutely lovely people and could speak really good English.
Great. That sounds like it was all really straightforward.
Yeah. No language barriers at all. I don't think the process could have been made any more simple.
That's perfect. That's great. So my next question, you may not have an answer for it, but would you do anything differently if you were going to do it all again?
No, not really. I think if I was going to... I mean, my advice, like you say, my advice for other people would be, as you've said, don't think your upper end of your budget is where you need to start.
Okay.
Because there's so much more to be seen at what could be a much lower budget.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we lowered that budget. And I actually saw 2 properties that we liked. But the one that we bought was the one that we really wanted.
Yeah, just because it felt right.
Yeah. There was another one we might have settled for if we'd missed the chance of this one.
Right, okay.
But we probably would have took longer to think about that.
Yeah, well, it sounds like what I was also going to say is you really did your homework. Like you put a lot of energy into going to all the viewings and you really thought about what you wanted. So maybe preparation is key, would you say, in this kind of move?
Preparation is absolutely key. And to tell you the truth, I mean, this is where Kyero came into it a lot. We spent a lot of time in England on the websites searching for property, having a look to see what can you get for this kind of money, wherever in southern Spain.
Right.
So it was not just one destination. We just wanted to be in southern Spain where you get some sunshine. And we wanted something not right by the seaside, not too cluttered with people.
Yeah, totally.
Somewhere accessible where you could get to other places. And I found sort of the Kyero website became our favourite for searching for property.
Great.
And what we would do is we would both look separately and have a favourite box that we would drop them in.
Oh, great.
And we ended up with that many favourites. It was crazy. And then you would find, okay, you'd go back to them and, okay, one of them's gone.
Right,
it's
okay.
no longer for sale. Quite often it was your favourite of the favourites that was gone straight away.
Yeah, always the way with property, isn't it?
Always the way. But we had loads and loads. And then what we liked was you could find out how much population lived there.
Right.
What the weather was like. All of those kinds of things were important to us when we were looking for the property. So we went out with an idea of a broad area that we wanted to be in.
Yeah, perfect.
And we looked all around that area. But eventually this ticked the box.
Yeah, perfect. And so my last questions are just about what you love about the Spanish culture. So what do you love most about owning your own property in Spain? Let's start there.
Oh, well, it's obviously the sunshine that you get. You get the sunshine all of the time. You can do a lot more outdoor living. I found that I do suffer with asthma.
Me too, actually. That's good to know. Is it better in Spain?
Much better. I suffer with allergies, so it's allergy-triggered asthma.
Right.
So I'm allergic to pollens and dust and all of that kind of thing that you can't really avoid.
Oh, no, and it can be a nightmare in the UK.
Yeah. And in Spain, my husband had commented, I just don't get any asthma attacks.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I am absolutely fine. The other thing that we like is that we can walk out on the night time, and we've got a choice of bars and restaurants. We've got 9 in all to choose from, which within literally 5-10 minutes walk.
Brilliant. So nice.
But you don't hear any noise from them on the night time.
No, so you're just far enough away.
Yeah. We've got a golf course that you can walk up to in about 10 minutes.
Lovely. I bet. Is Eddie there all the time?
Oh, he likes that, yes. He does like that. But there's also they play bowls, and they've got tennis courts up there as well. They have entertainment on, usually twice a week.
Lovely.
And you can sit outside, free entertainment. If you just want to buy drinks, you can just have drinks, but they do nice meals. And you can be entertained and watch the sun come down.
Yeah, great.
And you can just walk home. You don't have to worry about having a drink and driving.
And it must be lovely for you. I know you're new to it all, but are you envisaging kind of family holidays and friends and people coming to visit you to enjoy all of this when you're out there more regularly?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we already, like I say, I've already got friends wanting to come out in February.
Yeah.
To celebrate a friend's 60th birthday. My sister's just, within the past few days, dropped me a line to say, can she be our first visitor? She wants to come out in September for a week.
Oh, good. She's getting in there early. That's good preparation.
Yeah, she did come to Turkey with us a few times. And she wants to come to Spain. My mum and dad would like to come. At the moment, we're waiting to see how their health is, because my dad's 87 and my mum's 81, and they're desperate to come out.
Cool. Well, that'll be great. If you can get all the generations out there, it'd be amazing. Do you think there's enough to do for both kind of older generation and younger generation?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the little ones, the fact that we've got a communal pool that is literally just walk around the corner and you're at that communal pool. They would be in there most of the time, yeah. You go down to the bars and there's a little play park across in front of the supermarket. It's not a big play park, but it's certainly enough to keep the children entertained.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, and there's places that you can take them. A free bus service runs on a Thursday, and it will take you to Lasagna Boulevard.
Right, great, yeah.
And then they've got the little water features for the children to run in and out of in their costumes, and you've got like a fun fair on the upper floors where you go to eat. So I reckon there's enough there for all ages. My mum and dad would love the golf club, I know that.
Yeah.
They would enjoy that kind of live entertainment. We went to see a Beatles tribute night.
Oh, fun, okay.
And it was great. I mean, the oldest Beatles in town, but they were really good. And you could get up and dance and have a laugh.
Really nice. So there is a kind of British feel and there is a European feel. Do you feel like there's a Spanish culture as well? Do you get to experience Spanish culture?
Not very much, to tell you the truth. Not where we currently are. But certainly when we go out to the markets, the Sunday markets, you get to feel more of the Spanish culture. They're really great fun.
And do you like that kind of hybrid of both? Do you like getting the kind of home vibe, Europe vibe and the Spanish vibe?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we love going to the Spanish restaurants for a nice Spanish paella.
Very good.
Which is always very popular. Like you say, the markets are great to go to and talk to the Spanish, to buy your fruit, your veg, and bedding and such like, and have a little bit banter and barter with them and come home with the goods that you want. And everybody's been so friendly.
Brilliant. Well, my last question is just if there was one piece of advice, you've already touched on loads, but if there was one piece of advice for someone doing what you've done, what would your advice be?
To do the research first. Be sure that this is what you want to do because it is your money that's being invested. Yeah. Make sure that you understand the laws and the requirements. Don't go in thinking that you're going to put in an offer for a house and that's the price you're going to pay. Right. That is what you'll pay for the house, but you have to plan ahead for the taxes on top of that. Yeah. For your solicitor's fees, search fees, whatever else you need to have those all up front and know exactly what you can afford. Brilliant. And there's help out there for when you need it if you go to the right places kind of thing. Absolutely. There is help out there if you go to the right places. Fantastic. Well, I'm really glad that it's been a positive experience. I mean, some of the agents that we've gone out with as well, it's not like buying in England or selling in England. You sell in England and the agents do practically nothing for the money. Yeah. You sell in Spain and they will do searches for you. They will look for houses that match your criteria, but then they will come and pick you up and they will take you out on a tour. They'll take you not only to visit the houses, but they'll tour you around the area.
Yeah, great. It just sounds more personal and like they care a little bit more.
A lot more. I mean, I knew that I wanted to be at least near some shops where I could get the essentials in, and that we would like to be in walking distance of at least a couple of bars so we could have a night out without worrying about driving. And we wanted other things to be accessible. And we got everything that we wanted except for a private pool. But then that didn't matter because the pool that we have, it's so quiet when we were there, it felt private. There was often, I was the only person in.
And it's often the way people holiday at different times. And yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. Obviously, holiday time when all the children are off school, people have all their families there. It's different. It's lively.
Yeah, it's also social, though.
Exactly. Your grandchildren have got others to play with. It's a nice way to get to know people.
Yeah. No, well, it sounds perfect. It sounds like it ticks all the boxes. Listen, I'm going to let you go because we've been chatting for ages, but thank you so much for chatting.
Oh, it's been absolutely wonderful. We can't wait to get back out there.
I know. I bet. Have a great time in September. It'll be perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Denise. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. And thanks to Denise for sharing her experiences, and Home España for their help to make this episode possible. I particularly liked the mention of her improved health, as this isn't something you necessarily think about when you think of moving to a warmer climate. If you liked what you've heard, you can search for this agent's properties and more on Kyero.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. This podcast is produced by Kyero.com, and our mission is to connect you with estate agents and properties throughout Spain. Whether your dream home is a rustic farmhouse surrounded by olive groves or a lock-up-and-leave apartment on the seafront, you'll find everything you need at Kyero.com. If you've enjoyed this episode, we'd really appreciate your 5-star rating on iTunes. It helps us reach and connect more people with their dream home in Spain. And whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways we can help you. Ask a question by emailing podcasts@Kyero.com. We'll try and answer them all in an upcoming Q&A episode. Get a location guide by emailing podcasts@Kyero.com. We'll reply with the latest data and information on the areas you're interested in. Calculate your budget. Simply visit Kyero.com/budget. Enter 2 numbers and you're done. Be our guest. If you've already purchased your home in Spain, we would love for you to share your story on the podcast. Just email podcasts@Kyero.com and we'll take it from there. Tune in next week when I speak with Ivan, originally from Newcastle, all about his purchase of a 2-bed apartment in Formentera del Segura, Alicante, and find out again how a change in budget affected the options available to him. I'm Beth Davison, and you've been listening to the Kyero.com Spanish Property Podcast. I'll see you next week.